So, with Islam, what were the two things that I decided to look at? Well, the Shahada is La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. There's two things there. There's Allah and there's Muhammad. So how can we take a look into Allah and how can we take a look into Muhammad? Well, the first, I would say, is the Quran. You go to the Quran to see what Allah is like, who He is, what His claims are. And as a Muslim, I offered a few arguments that the Quran is divinely inspired. And there are other arguments that people use that I didn't use, which we will also take a look at briefly tonight. And the other sets of arguments I used was on Muhammad. I believed, having been raised as a Muslim, that Muhammad was the best man who ever walked this earth. Al-Insan al-Kamil, the perfect man. This is the man who's the perfect exemplar. And as I was taught Muhammad and I was taught Islam, Muhammad was the most peaceful man who ever lived. He's the most generous man who ever lived. He's the most loving, the most kind, the most humble. He took care of women, who took care of orphans, took care of widows. Muhammad was the best statesman. He was the best diplomat. He was the best general. It doesn't matter what epithet you throw at him. He deserves it because he's Muhammad. He's the chief of the prophets. That's what we believed. But what do the earliest sources say about Muhammad? And how reliable are those sources? We're going to take a look at that tonight. And we're going to take a look at the sources for the Quran.